RealAgriculture.com presents the Dairy School. You can find more great dairy content at dairyschool.ca.
Bernard Tobin here, RealAgriculture.com. We are going to talk dairy milking parlors today with Mark Futcher from DeLaval. And hey, this is a new facility just outside Moncton, Ontario. 40 stalls, rotary parlor, pretty awesome facility. And first thing I'm going to say is, hey, we don't hear a lot about parlors these days. We hear a lot about robots, but you know, parlors play a key role. Where do parlors fit these days?
Well, they have a tremendous fit. Certainly, parlors were a first step, perhaps, toward bringing more productivity and performance to the dairy industry, and the industry as a whole has been looking to incorporate, you know, efficiencies and perhaps some economies of scale, not unlike other industrial sectors, right? So it started out, parlors, that is, with what we would refer to as batch parlors, where a batch of cows enters the milking parlor or stalls, oftentimes two-sided. So we'd milk a batch of cows on one side and a batch of cows on the other side. And rotaries have in fact been around for some time, and I want to mention that it's indeed an honor that the Pertina family here at Windle & Holstein's decided upon partnering with DeLaval for this new facility, this 40-stall HPR rotary. But DeLaval first came up with the idea of rotary milking centers as far back as 1928 and launched it to the world at the World's Fair at the farm of Walker Gordon in Plainsboro, New Jersey. And so rotaries have been around for some time. I guess that's roughly 86 years. Since then, you know, I think that dairying's a process of continued incremental steps and innovation, and we learn by the millisecond and you know, when we do things. So this is a 40-stall rotary, as we mentioned, and perhaps with one operator they can milk upwards of 150 or 160 cows an operator, and if they added some more labor to it, perhaps 200.
Now, I was going to say, robots tend to be, you know, traditionally tend to be for smaller operations. We're getting bigger now. You're seeing, you know, multiple robots. Where does the parlor fit now in operation?
Sure. First and foremost, at DeLaval, we try to deliver solutions that will have a fit and align best with an individual's management philosophies, productivity goals, perhaps the layout and dynamics and succession planning of the operation, as well. Certainly herd size plays a role in that. Robots aren't for everyone, so too are parlors not for everyone. But we're pleased to be able to offer quite a breadth of solutions to cover that array. We see more and more interest in rotary parlors, and we'd like to think that at DeLaval, you know, our mission is that we continue to drive the process of sustainable food production. And with that, rotaries are becoming more and more prominent as a parlor choice rather than those batch parlors we spoke of earlier. When we look at sustainability, we define it as delivering solutions that speak to animal welfare, farm profitability and productivity, of course. That's quite key to being sustainable. The environment and social responsibility. Many people think that cows love the ride on the rotary. I don't know that it's so much that as it is the fact that we allow them to maintain their hierarchy or social dynamics within the herd. With a batch parlor, we often, I wouldn't use the word force, but are asking cows, say 8, 10, 12, 20 at a time, to load or enter into the left-hand side of the parlor, when perhaps some of them might prefer to be on the right-hand side of the parlor. Or maybe that more timid first lactation cow doesn't want to stand beside the boss cow. In a rotary parlor, we allow them to maintain that hierarchy because now they're entering one at a time. And you see them sort that pecking order amongst themselves in the holding pen and as they enter onto the platform. So certainly I would submit that that's why we see that a rotary parlor is a lot perhaps more calm, welcoming environment for not only the cow but the operator and the operation as a whole.
So Mark, final question for you. For farmers who are either expanding or building or just investing in a new system, if they're thinking about going to a parlor, a rodent parlor like this one, what should they be, what questions should they be asking themselves? What should they be considering? What should they be thinking about?
Sure. Well, certainly that's how much time do we have? A couple hours? Certainly, I think that you need to start zeroing in on those aspects of your business plan for X number of years, however long that is. And part of that would be the robustness and integrity of the solution, what your anticipated productivity life is for it, labor, and the amount of available labor to perform certain tasks, and the extent of automation you'll incorporate it into the facility to perhaps truly manage by exception. We see today that dairy producers are wanting to perhaps eliminate some of the labor required for those more mundane but critical tasks, and utilize tools such as automatic sort or selection gates, interactive data displays like we have here, to really trying to zero in and focus on those cows that need their attention on an hourly, weekly basis, rather than those perhaps that are doing just fine. Another key component would be, certainly with so many hours in the day, and it pertains to labor, but what other tasks need to be accomplished? So how much labor is available for any one of those things that need to be done, right?
What about size? I mean, you're thinking about, if you have expansion plans, you probably got to think about where you're going to be 10, 20 years out.
Absolutely, and when you're looking at investing in the facility, certainly a significant capital expense. So what is your perception of how long you will be utilizing it? And then always trying to, we might call it blue sky, but whatever you do, you try to engineer and design to expansion. You may never do that yourself, but if there was a time when the next generations or yourselves wanted to sell the operation, it might make it more interesting to someone looking to purchase if they have that expansion opportunity. Right. So that would speak to the parlor size selected, and as well perhaps the footprint and where it situates on the farmstead.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time today. Learned about a lot about the history of parlors, where they are today, and what we should think about in the future if we're going to invest in one. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Bernie.